Hi, welcome back to my film channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing the film Seven. Seven is a crime film directed by David Fincher. That story follows two detectives that have to track down a serial killer whose murders relate to the
To
seven
start
deadly
off with, I'm going
sins.
to talk about the cinematography
Because it's some of the best I've seen in the film, and I think it's got a very unique presence of it. So for example, take this shot here, it's all very linear, and it's got a very specific colour palette, lots of yellows, lots of beiges, very dark, and the lines it uses for. And I think also as well, it's like a picture this, you could have this just in your living room. And I just think all the cranes, not the cranes, I think all the towers on the right and then the car in the middle, it really gives you a sense of suspense, and you're wondering what's going to go on. And yeah, I just think it's an excellent shot. Now this next shot is a wide shot, and I think one of the reasons that it's so good is because of how much it shows. You can see so much in the shot, and there's so much for the eye to look at and to see. So you can see clearly the person there, you can see all the couches, all the room, but then you can also see the blood on the floor, the message that says greed. And I just think it captures perfectly the essence of that scene when the detectives find out what's happened. Another note that I made when I was putting down stuff for the cinematography was that every shot matches the grit of the film. So here in the background, just the way it's very sort of slow. It doesn't use too many quick shots like lots of modern day films use. It just got a very particular style. And I think that the cinematography in this film, I think it captures the different emotions. It doesn't this scene in the background. It's very dark. It's somebody being killed and the detectives investigating it. So it uses the colour, it uses the shots, it uses the lighting very well. There's lots of shadows, as you can see in the background. They're very dark, lots of shadows. And I think that it really just sort of captures that essence of what the film is. A serial killer film, and very gritty, very violent, and two detectives just going and tracking them down. And I think the cinematography just matches it perfectly. Every single frame, every single shot, I think it just captures it excellent. I think one of the other things about this film that's so good is that it keeps you engaged constantly. I mean, the start's very gritty, and it's sort of building you up, and you're sort of seeing what's going on. And then this moment now in the background, this is when it starts kicking off all the action and that. And it's the detective Brad Pitt's character chasing the serial killer. They've tracked him down to his apartment, and I just think all the shots are excellent here. Very quick, lots of action, all the running about, all the stuff that's going on. Yeah, I just think it's a really good scene, and I really think it sort of keeps you engaged. It really wants you to, it's really rooting for you to find them. Um, And yeah, just even this in the background, him limping and just going along, it's really tense and suspenseful. And you're just sitting there and you're just wondering what's going on. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's such a good film. Because it just scenes like this, that sort of build up to it, the stuff that gets remembered and gets you to enjoy the film. And I think this was a very enjoyable scene to watch. So yeah, that's the story basically. The story is just, it's really interesting, keeps you interested with its compelling narrative, and also you're trying to piece it together slowly. You're enjoying it, but at the same time you're thinking who it could be, the motive, and it's quite an interesting concept too, the seven deadly sins. I think if you look at this scene now, it uses prophetic fallacy, so using the rain to capture emotion. And I think just the lighting in the background there, and I just think the way it just keeps on flipping from each shot, so shot of that detective and then Brad Pitt's detective. I just think it's an excellent scene with all the different shots. Um, and I think one of the reasons why it's such a great film is because of all the excellent memorable scenes. So I said earlier about the two detectives going into the apartment, and when they get into the fight and chasing, that's one of the best scenes, but also this one too, because you don't see Kevin Spacey much. But I think in the 10 minutes that he's in the film, I think he really captures it perfectly. I think he's really realistic in terms of a psychopath, and you can really see that he's more just like a normal person. He's not like the Joker, like a supervillain. He's more just like a normal person, but he's got like a really like twisted ideology. And I think like the different shots, and it makes you seem like you're almost like in the car with them. Like there's that shot there through the railing, the whatever you call it, like the barrier separating them. And I just think it's such a good scene to end the film, just them talking about it, and it's sort of like bringing the whole film to a climax. Like the whole film they've been hunting this guy, and then he's finally here, and it's I don't know the word to describe it. It's just almost like really like special. And I think if I'm reviewing the film 7, I think it's hard not to speak about the ending scene, because it's also one of the best scenes of the film. First of all, I think the colour palette of it's absolutely amazing. I think it's like a comic book. I think all the yellows it uses as well if you look at the clothing, what they're wearing, like his black hat, his coat and all that. It's got a very particular colour palette, and I think that's one of the reasons why it makes this scene so good. I think it reminds me in a way of The Empire Strikes Back, the way in the film the bad guy wins, because Brad Pitt kills him. And I think also it's sort of like a summary of the film, and the film it's about them being human. There's nothing like supernatural about it. It's not where like Brad Pitt goes off and he lives his life. It's very human, the way his wife gets killed and then he goes and kills him. So I think that's definitely a focus. And I think it's also really sad the way Gwyneth Paltrow was pregnant with his kid and then she dies. I think that was really sad, and it's just a really like sad ending to a film, and it really sort of makes you think, because I don't know if you're expecting or not. Sometimes you'd usually just think, oh, like, oh yeah, it's just gonna end where they put him in jail, but no, it ends where he sort of wins because he gets him to do the worst thing. Thanks for watching my film review of 7.